What's up, guys, and welcome to the channel. Now, I know I haven't done a video in a while. I've been pretty much out of commission. I have a relentless toothache that decided to come back after years of being gone and wreak havoc. So I won't be talking as much as I usually do in these videos, but I wanted to show off the ONE-GX Pro's capability for playing PS3 games. I've been working on this PS3 emulator through this weekend. Last time I worked on the PS3 emulator was during the Razor Edge Pro times, which was I think about 4 years ago. So I had to get back acquainted to the settings and all that stuff, and get the games together. And anyway, I figured it all out and installed a whole bunch of games on the ONE-GX Pro. Now, the issue I had with my camera before should be solved. I did a manual focus, so hopefully it's not going in and out of blurriness this time like it was with the last couple of videos. Yeah, so thanks for stopping by and watching, and I'm just going to show some gameplay and not talk your ear off. Some of these games I've tried, so I already know how they work, and some of them I have not, so it may take a little longer to load. And currently got about 20 more games to try that I haven't added, and I'm going to give you guys an idea of what the settings should be as well. So if you wanted to set up your ONE-GX Pro the way mine is and get the same performance, then you'll be able to do that. I'll be using a PS5 controller because the way my stream is set up, I can't really hold it and record it at the same time, which is unfortunate. There is one thing to note. Not all of these games run off the bat. If you know anything about the PS3 emulator, you gotta install it a certain way. And the only game I haven't got to run for some reason is Persona 5. No matter what I did, it just didn't. I mean, it ran, but it would crash after like 30 seconds. I'll try it out so you guys could see it, and then maybe you got some ideas for me. I don't have any special settings for it. Matter of fact, I'll try that later. Let's play this in a row. Let's try .detuned. All right, so as far as settings, and let me show you guys my global settings. All right, I don't know if that's seeable, so I'm gonna move in a little closer to the screen so I can read it out to you guys. Let's see. Excuse me if I'm a bit loud. Okay, so everything should be default settings for the PS3 emulator after you install it. The only thing I changed on the global for this was Vulkan. I don't know if it was defaulted to OpenGL, but make sure you're running it under Vulkan. I have not gotten a single game to run with OpenGL for some reason. As you can see, is running with the iris graphics. I took frame limit off. I don't know if it was on or off by default. Leaving everything at 100%, which would be 720p. And another thing I did with global is I changed the shader mode from legacy to async. And the reason why I did that is because the difference between legacy and async is legacy will do like what the Wii U emulator does. It'll freeze it and say catching shaders, and then it'll continue, then it'll freeze again if it's your first time booting and you don't have any shaders loaded, and that's what it defaults to. Now if you go to the second one, which is async, which I have set up as my default, then you'll actually be able to play and enjoy the game while it's loading shaders. So instead of freezing every 2 seconds, you'll actually be able to play it, and there'll just be some artwork missing or something like that as it's loading in. So that's better for this device, especially if you're first starting out. As you see here, I got none of those checked. I didn't mess with any of this stuff. So if you set up everything like this, you're good to go, except for the games that I have custom settings for, which majority of them I do have, because the beautiful thing about this emulator is that you can push the PS3 games to their limit, which you can't do on the PS3. There's no overclocking on the PS3 to get higher frame rates or anything like that. So let's just try one game real quick. I'm gonna hit my light so it focuses in more on the screen. And for those who've played Detuned, the only reason why I put it on here is because it's a PS3 exclusive game. To my knowledge, it didn't come out for any other system, so it was worth throwing on here. Another thing I noticed, sometimes, not all the time, when you run a game, it has this weird shadow. You see this shadow here? Don't know what causes that, but it happens in a few games. And the only way I was able to fix it is to close out the game, go to custom settings for that game. So I'm gonna do that now with this one. So if you run into that issue, I don't know if this 100% solves all those type of issues, but it solved it for me in games that had that. Like for instance, this game didn't have it before, but apparently it does now. Yeah, and it seems to. Okay, so I put strict rendering mode on and VSync on, and that usually solves the problem. And then I put a frame limit to 59 frames per second instead of, unlimited. That usually solves the problem, but it looks like I had that setting on already, so I don't know. But anyway, usually after setting that up and then booting it, it solves that weird glitch problem. I've seen that in Bleach. I've seen that on Asura's Wrath, Shadows of the Damned. Resistance 2 is probably the only game that had something similar, but not exactly. And I was able to fix it. I mean, I wasn't able to fix it with Resistance 2. So I don't know why it's doing that now on this game, but I guess I won't show this game. Dot Hack also did that. But I went to the settings and changed that. So let's just skip to Dot Hack, because Detune is not really, I mean, it didn't do it when I was playing it. That's the first time I've seen it do it, but it is what it is. All right, so for Dot Hack versus, I have frame limiter off, strict rendering mode, and VSync. And the reason why I did that is because I was getting those shader issues on Dot Hack, and doing that solves the problem. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is default. So let's run Dot Hack, and hopefully it's not doing that weird shader thing that Detune was doing. And to be honest, I don't know if putting strict rendering mode on really solves it. It seems like it does it sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. So I tried looking it up, and I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, anybody complaining about that. So I'm assuming that that's a Iris graphics thing. Anyway, let's increase the size here. You can pretty much tell when it's going to do that right at the beginning. Like with this game, it'll do it on this next screen right here. So yeah, you see how I just did that weird glitchy graphic? I don't know what causes that. I'm wondering if, yeah, so that means it's going to do it. So we're not going to be able to see gameplay. But yeah, if you guys know what causes that, let me know, because I haven't figured out a way to solve it. I thought I did, but what I did actually didn't work, apparently. All it does is make it work sometimes. So when you boot it up and it doesn't have that weird shader glitch, it's usually good the whole game. But sometimes when you boot it up, it has that weird shader glitch, like what just happened with those two games. So I'm glad that actually happened, because that's probably something you would want to know. And again, I think that has something to do with iris graphics, because I don't see too many people complaining about it. And it happens in quite a few games. Not every game. I would say probably 4 or 5 games I tried already. Let me see. Bleach for sure. Detuned, I didn't even know it does that, because when I played it, it was fine. Dot Hack versus. That's just other games I tried. See how it's not doing it all of a sudden? It just loaded that page without that glitch. That's what I'm talking about. So I guess there really is no... Yeah, you remember this error here was just distorted with some weird shadow. And now it's fine. But that's what I mean. I don't know what causes it. It's like a hit and a miss. I think it has something to do with the iris graphics. That's the only thing I could think of. Anyway, let me shut up and let you guys see some gameplay.
TigerLake を知ってるか？
よろしくね、誠さん。この人強すぎ。
Power of justice. As he being a counter-terrorist.
Very good.
So yeah, as you can see, you're not gonna have any issues playing this game. aside from those issues I mentioned. So that weird shader thing, like I said, it only happens for some reason sometimes. So I can't dictate when it'll happen. Let me unplug this because it's powered up. Another weird thing I noticed about this device is that if I'm playing a CPU intensive game and the CPU goes to 100%, right? Like all PS3 games do, it starts doing this weird flickering, like screen flickering. Doesn't last very long, but it's worth noting. And as soon as you unplug it, so this only happens when you're charging and playing a CPU intensive game, if that makes any sense. Okay, I'm not loading two games. What are they talking about? Well, I guess the other game is not closed. What just opened? I don't even know what this is. I clicked something by accident. But yeah, so if you're playing a game that's CPU intensive, which most games, it pretty much evens out the CPU and the GPU. But Nintendo Switch, I'm sorry, Wii U games and PS3 games, I know for sure, really drain the CPU. It puts it to 100% usage. So playing at 100% usage for long periods of time while plugged in and charging causes some strange ghosting effects on the screen. And you know, ghosting, I mean, when people say ghosting, they're talking about like something that burns into the screen, like a screen burn. I'm not talking about that. It's some kind of flickering. It's really hard to explain, but doesn't affect the performance. It's just really annoying. And it seems to only happen when your CPU is at 100% load and you're charging at the same time. So that's something I figured was worth mentioning, and we almost saw an example of it just now. Alright, now this game is called AR Nosurge. It's an RPG, JRPG. Now this also does that weird shadow thing. Hasn't done it yet. But I haven't loaded the shaders for the beginning of this game because I just started from a save file from when I played it before. A long time ago. So you might see like shaders loading in as we're walking around. But as you can see, it plays smooth as butter. 60 FPS.
Something I would.
And this, I didn't do anything extra other than putting strict rendering mode on. I'll show you guys the settings afterwards, because I wanted to show you guys the settings before I started it. And remember, I have everything set up as that async, so shaders are gonna load in as we're playing the game and not freezing the game to do it. Okay, this is where they teach you how to fight.
You're up. That's right. Nice. Don't stop now. Come on, let's finish this. That's right. Nice.
They want me to activate the song.
Gonna give you everything I've got. Hi, Delta. I'm glad you made it.
Sarly?
Now, if you don't mind, could you get me out of this prison? Then...
What are you talking? What?
Hey, Delta! How long are you gonna sleep? Don't you need to open?
Cass? What are you doing here?
I have the day off.
How many times have I got to say it?
What?
I can run the place myself.
Maybe during the week. Just get
Alright, let's skip this and get to gameplay. Really hope the video quality is coming out good. Sorry I don't have a really good external camera to show portable devices, but hey, gotta use what I can work with.
You don't have any ingredients. Are you serious? It's a miracle you're able to run this place at...
So, how's work going? Things okay back at Plasma?
Hasn't...
But as you can see, this is playing just fine also. So once we get to the next gameplay, hopefully it won't be too many movie clips involved. Okay, world map. Alright, you see how it's loading everything in? I'd rather that than be dealing with some freezing crap. So every time it compiles shaders, if you're using the other renderer, it will stop, you'll freeze, and it'll load everything instantly. Well, I wouldn't say instantly. It still takes some time to load up the shaders. But here, the worst you'll get is like shaders missing trees and all that. That's all loading in while you're playing, so it doesn't affect your gameplay. If it's your first time playing the game, I can understand if you want to see all the shaders, but that's why I would recommend using that setting. Alright, we've seen this game. Let's go to the settings so I can show you guys the specific settings I have. And it's all pretty much the same there. But this is one of those games that would randomly sometimes... See, that's why I have strict rendering mode on in VSync. I don't know if it's a Vulkan thing or... Because I think it's just the Iris graphics thing. But that's pretty much it. Now let's go to Asura's Wrath. As you see here, I have the same settings, custom settings on. I didn't want to make it global because I don't use that particular setting for everything. The difference with Asura's Wrath is I have enabled the unlock the FPS patch, which will allow you to play it in 60 FPS. But in order to play at 60 FPS, you got to increase the V-block? I can't even see it because I'm far away from the screen right now. You got to change that to 120 hertz, which is the next step up because 60 hertz is 30 FPS, which is the native the native frame rate for this game. Now, any game you want to play on this PS3 emulator and that's locked at 30 FPS, you can try to raise that the next step up, which is 120 hertz, and see if your gameplay turns to 60 hertz. But it doesn't work at every game. That's why there's frame rate patches. Now, to get to the patches, for those who don't know how to use the PS3 emulator, to be able to patch your game to have a 60 FPS or whatever other patches you want to see, you're going to go to here, Manage, and then you want to go to Game Patches. And you want to make sure you check only... See, I can't read that. I'm all the way back here, and I have the brightness of the screen really low so that the auto adjust crap is not doing what it does on my camera. It says only show, basically only show what games you have installed on your device. And then if you're going, like say, for instance, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, they have all these patches here, disable fog or whatever. And a lot of these have like 60 FPS patches, like Tales of Xillia 2. I checked off the 60 FPS patch. Like I said, some of these I haven't tried yet. Like I haven't tried Uncharted, so it's a mystery how that's going to play along with other games. Let's try Asura's Wrath and see how that plays while I plug in my headset since I have no sound. My headset battery just died. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna write in the comments all the games names that I tried. I'm not a high ranking kind of YouTuber, so I really don't know how to add the little dots to show where the gameplay is, but there's that. I don't even know how to comment on my own video. The noob life. Okay, so I'll just write it in the chat here. So we didn't really give .detune a try, so I'm not gonna add that to the list. I'll probably get back to it later. But yeah, that shader thing is a pain in the neck. Don't know what's causing it. Don't know why it does it, but it should be noted that it does do it. We tried Dot Hack versus. Just added it to the comments in YouTube. And we tried Arno's Surge. Okay. And we're trying right now Asura's Wrath, if I'm saying that correctly. Now, this is a game I've had for years and never actually touched. So I just know that it was locked at 30 FPS. So naturally, I used the 60 FPS patch to see how far we can push the graphics here. I mean, at least to get to it, you know, the screen's refresh rate. Now, I've already played the intro of this, so we don't have to watch. Well, hopefully I saved. I hope it did, because there was a lot of flying in the beginning. Now I haven't gotten far in this, so it may start loading shaders. But some of the beginning shaders are already preloaded. Oh, you can't skip. Bastards. Anyway, I have also been doing a lot of hyperspin stuff. So if you guys have a game request that you want to see, you know, just let me know and I'm happy to help. Hey, what's going on, TQ? I believe I loaded this part already before. Oh, this is the intro. Okay. Don't tell me I have to do this part again. Yeah, this is the very beginning. I remember this. So I'm up to another chapter. Wait a minute. Hang on a second, because I don't want to do that whole flying sequence again. I was up to the next episode. Maybe I didn't save it. Or maybe I went to episode 1 by accident. That was definitely episode 1. Okay. Episode 2, yeah. I went to episode 1 by accident. I knew something wasn't right. Oh, Black Ops 2? I have Black Ops 3. I don't have Black Ops 2 on here. Oh, I don't have a donate button because I'm not usually on YouTube, to be honest. I generally broadcast on Facebook. On Facebook I have a subscriber button, but not a donate button. You know, or if
Asura.
I do have one on here, I really don't know how to set it up.
Father!
Yeah, Black Ops 3, you ain't gonna have no problems playing. That runs really smooth. But I haven't tried the PS3 version. If you're talking about Steam version, yeah, you won't have a problem running 2 for sure. Because 3 runs fine, and that's harder to run.
General Asura, the Emperor summons you.
With Black Ops 3, you got portable custom zombies.
I wonder if he's going to present you with a medal for defeating Vlitra.
She's right. You mustn't keep the Emperor waiting.
Alright, now remember with this game,
Alright.
I have it 60 FPS patched through the settings here. So it actually is not supposed to run at this frame rate, but it looks beautiful. And that's the beautiful thing about emulation. It actually plays and looks better than on my PS3.
What is this?
Insurrection! Treachery! Treason! Traitor! General Asura has gone mad! Treachery! Traitor!
Why he do that?
No! There must be some mistake! I don't understand. What the hell's happening?
Now, just to let you guys know, this is the default TDP. I didn't do any overclocking. I didn't do any increasing of power usage. This is default TDP. And
Asura! You traitorous filth!
and the latest version RPCS3 as of today.
Enough of your lies!
So there was an update today.
I shall purify the likes of you myself. Damn you! Release!
You also should know I don't know what the hell I'm doing because I haven't played this game. So, button mashing for the win. And it plays pretty damn fun. Okay, they teach me how to play. I think I'm gonna like this game. This is one of those games that I had on PS3, just sitting around, and I never got a chance to play it. A wild commercial. Oh, this game is called Asura's Wrath for the PS3. I had the original PS3 game for a while, but I never popped it into the PS3. It's pretty good so far. And I know it has DLC where you're fighting Ryu and Akuma or something like that.
Let us cut to the chase. I'll kill you myself!
Let me see if I can beat this guy. But yeah, it's playing at a beautiful, smooth 60 FPS. Doesn't appear to have any performance issues.
You have disgraced the general!
How you roll? Oh, you can shoot. That's pretty cool. Like he needs guns. Alright. Oh, I had to time it. See, I didn't notice that. So it's a timing thing. Still punched him though.
Be safe.
Hey, yeah, sure. I'll type it up. Yeah, it plays pretty nice. I'm actually surprised on how well it plays on this device. Because I tried to play PS3 games on a Razer Edge Pro, which had a NVIDIA GPU in it, and it does not play. Not like this. Not even close. So this is pretty damn good for a handheld device, I'd say.
I will save your strength.
Alright, let's try another game. But definitely I'm going to have some fun with this gun. Alright, and then just going to review. Let's go back to the game settings so I can show you. Everything's default, the same settings I told you guys about at the beginning of this video. The only thing different about this game that I have set up specifically here is you can crank up the V, what's it called, the V blank up to 120 hertz, which will in turn make the game 60 FPS, even though the game is normally, under normal circumstances, locked at 30 FPS. So, and it plays phenomenally. Everything else is the regular default settings I gave you before. And you should be good to go playing that. Now let's check out Bleach. Now with Bleach, the only thing I changed from the default settings is, let me remember here. Okay, I use strict rendering mode, okay, because Bleach is one of those games, strict rendering mode and VSync, because Bleach is one of those games that have that weird shader glitch that happens sometimes when you boot the games, like I discussed earlier. Also, Bleach is locked at 30 FPS, so I did a little experiment and it worked out. I moved V-blank up from the normal 60 Hertz to 75 Hertz, and it made Bleach play a little bit faster, even though it played at a solid 30 FPS, but it gave it the illusion that it's playing closer to 60. I'll show you guys what I mean. Let's open that up real quick. By the way, I am running this on battery power. I had to unplug it because, okay, I wanted to show how it works on battery. So hopefully we don't get that weird graphical glitch that I mentioned before on the first try. But other than that, Bleach will run flawlessly. That's a PS3 emulator issue. That's probably, oh yeah. And when you crank up the, when you crank it up to 75 Hertz, it breaks the, this video movie clip. As you see, it's like kind of stuttery. Wasn't doing that without it, and you don't have to do that. It's just something that I did to make it look closer to, at least higher than 30 FPS. I think it really brings out the shine in Bleach. So your first load probably not going to be this smooth unless you use that mode that I mentioned to you guys, the async, because I already loaded the shaders. So let me shut up and get to gameplay.
Ichigo Kurosaki returns to the world of the living. However, Aizen has used the Hogyoku to create Arancars, plotting a new invasion.
Let's go! This is Waco Mundo. Let's go! Not very cheery. Let's go! There's nothing here. Let's go!
Look at that.
Our castle. No. Let's go! Alright, let's go!
This is not a very hospitable welcome.
There's no time to wait. Let's keep going. Let's go. No need to hold back now. Let's go! We run and run. It doesn't seem like we're any closer than we were. Is that palace really there? Maybe it's a mirage.
It's no mirage.
Who are you guys? You don't look like you're from around here.
Mask? Are you a hollow?
Let me take a second to write the name of the game, because I want to just tag it at least to the time frame where I'm playing it in the comment section later. This is Bleach Soul Resurrection, PS3. And as you see, it plays buttery smooth. You're not going to have any issues with it.
Are you really an Arankar? It's so different from the Arankars we met in the world of the living.
You guys are even less like Arankars than we are. You don't know.
By the way, I'm playing using a PS5 controller. you didn't see the beginning of the video, can't really move my device too much because of the position I have to have the device in order to use the camera.
Traitors are all killed. You have to take now. If you don't,
Let's go. Let's go.
Is that a portal?
All right, stop crying. No need to hold back now. Let's go.
Did I leave enemies alive? I guess I did.
Let's go.
No, I was supposed to move on. The cooling noise, I would say you can barely hear it. There's 3 different modes. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Sorry, I had to turn on my light. So there's 3 different modes. If you look at the keyboard here, there's a regular cooling mode, and then if you press insert here, it turns the fan extremely low so you don't hear anything. And if you press this one here on the end, it'll crank the fan up to max. I usually play with the game on max, and there's usually no real issues in terms of sound, because I always have the sound of the game turned up. But it does have sound, but you know, I can barely hear it. It's actually more quiet than my gaming laptop, so I don't know how much that's saying, because my gaming laptop is very noisy and I have another fan under it. So, but relative to that, it's pretty quiet.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Did I go backwards? Yeah, I damn sure did. Why did I go backwards?
Let's go. Let's go.
Moreover, why did they allow me to go backwards?
Let's go.
So this game, like I said, also has that weird shader glitch that happens sometimes when you boot it and sometimes not. I still know what triggers it, to be honest, but if it doesn't happen at the beginning, it won't happen. It won't be one of those boots that happen. And I'm just chalking that up to either the PS3 emulator needing updates, or just those particular games that is doing that are not 100% compatible. I haven't been following the emulation scene as much as I used to when I had the Razer Edge Pro, but I found that to be a little bit weird. All right. Easy to get turned around in this level.
Let's go.
Well, I'm not sure what to compare the noise to
Don't get in my way.
in order to give you a good description, because you're not going to be able to hear it clearly with my stream setup.
Minos is nothing.
Oh, this guy, he said Menos is nothing, and he got kicked in the face in a disrespectful manner.
I know. It's the end. Let's go.
What the? Huh? Don't do that shit. Anyway, as you guys can see, not gonna have any issues playing this. The reason why I'm playing this a little bit more is because it's kind of addictive, so I should stop. Alright, let's try another game. Again, with this, completely optional. You don't have to have it running internally at 75 hertz. But for me, it feels better and it's not too fast. I had it running in... I changed the frequency to 120 hertz, like I do with other games, to force it to go 60 hertz. And it doesn't really do it well. It actually makes it run extremely fast, which is kind of useless because it's too fast. Everything's running in like as if you're speeding up the game. It's not actually increasing the frame rate. The refresh rate is actually increasing the frame rate. So with that regard, I decided to make it go to 75 FPS. 75 hertz would be equivalent to 45 FPS versus 30 FPS. So that made it run a lot better and to me smoother and much more nicer. At least you have that option, whereas with the PS3 you're stuck with 30 FPS. All right, so let's the next game is gonna be Dead Space 2. Now, why do I have Dead Space 2 on the PS4? I mean, on this device when I have it on Steam also. Well, Dead Space 2 had a very specific mode called Severed that only released on PS3. Now, of course, I had a PS3. I beat the mode. It's a great mode. It's like a separate little mini campaign, maybe at one level, where you're using someone other than Isaac Clarke. For those who do not know what Severed is, it's an add-on, a DLC, and it was exclusive to consoles. But now you can actually play it on this device on the go, because you can install DLC on the PS3 emulator and you can install this game. Now, this is another game I tried and had no issues running, but I'm going to show you guys the settings. The difference between this one and the other games, I did not put VSync on, and I do not have strict rendering mode on. In fact, under frame limit, I have off, right? And the only thing I did differently here, since this game did not have any patches, is I cranked up the hertz to 120. And what that does is, because this game defaults at 30 FPS, it'll increase it to 60 FPS, because 60 hertz is the default, which is 30 FPS on this game. Now, if you increase it to 120, just like the other game, it'll boost it up to 60 hertz and have it running at 60 FPS. And it actually does it well. It doesn't make it run too fast. It makes it run as if it's increasing the refresh rate and not the frame rate like some games do. And that's pretty much it. I did run it the regular way. It ran fine with 30 FPS. But obviously, you know, if you have Dead Space on PC, you can run it in 60, you can run it in 120. So you don't have to, if you have the PC game, you don't really have to play it or download it or go through the trouble of trying to run it on a PS3 emulator, since it's out on PC and it's not a PS3 exclusive. But the fact that you're able to play Severed, which is a DLC that was exclusive to PS3, not even PS4. This game didn't even come out for PS4. Not even Xbox, because it came out for Xbox and that Severed is not there. So it was a PS3 exclusive DLC, and that alone was worth me getting the game again, but this time on the PS3 emulator, even though I already have it on Steam. And it plays really well. So you just go to New Game. After you install the Severed DLC, you have it right here, Severed. And you're not going to have any issues playing it, but don't take my word for it. Just check it out. Hopefully it's not too dark on the video. But yeah, TQ, as far as the noise, it's not noisy at all. If you have the fan speed on max, I guess the noise would be equivalent to, I guess, a regular laptop. That has the fan on max. Actually lower, because this laptop I have here, it just goes crazy with the speed, the fan sound. But you're gonna want to keep the fan speed high because you don't want it to get overheated, and then you'll be throttling and gaming. At least that's what I think. Anyway, let me shut up and let you guys see the gameplay.
What are you doing here?
Honey, listen to me very carefully. I need you to leave there immediately and head straight for our shuttle.
What? Why?
Just what the hell is going on here? You can't just interrupt a session.
It's back. There, back. Don't tell anyone. Just get moving.
Gabe, you're scaring me.
Don't argue. Just get to our shuttle now.
This isn't happening. This can't be happening.
Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Weller, get your ass out of there! I don't want your wife crying about how I left your goddamn body in the mines. Now move it!
I can. Just take care of her if I don't make it. Extracting now. Well out.
I don't remember Severed that well, but I'm looking at the video playback. Kind of looks dark, and I apologize for that. That's the way the camera is, and it's a dark game. Let me see if I can go to settings and turn the game's brightness up. Did have a bar there. Turn up in the interest of showing the gameplay a little bit clearer. Is that better? Looks about the same. And remember, this is the PS3 version, so it's not as polished as the Steam version would be in terms of, like, for instance, the settings with the shadows and everything. I was just playing the Steam version, so I can see the vast difference between the rendering. But you can upscale it to like 1080p or something. What the f... See, I couldn't even see that. Sir? So it does have some kind of sound issue. Probably has something to do with me increasing the frame rate. It's not something you guys have to do. You can leave it at 30 FPS. But I don't know what's going on with the sound. It's fine now. No, okay. It has something to do with the gun. But yeah, I think it does that because remember, the game is not meant to be... I'm kind of forcing it to be 60 FPS. So I guess I wouldn't recommend doing that. What's that noise? I know something's around here. I can't see crap. It's too dark. What the hell? I hear a twitcher. There's a twitcher twitching somewhere in the vicinity. But yeah, this plays just as well as it would play on the PS3 without the modification of the frame rate. Oh, look at all this stuff in the inventory. They give you all these guns and stuff. I don't remember this. Inventory is full, completely full. Really? Give you like every game. Oh, this is a okay. This is the store. See, that's how long it's been since I really got into. Okay, so this is what we have in our inventory. Okay, sell. What? No. Okay, so I guess this is stuff I'm supposed to have on me, I guess. Oh yeah, this is stuff I have on me. See, that's how long it's been since I played this game, and this is one of my favorite games. That's messed up. But this DLC, I don't remember at all. I mean, we're talking, when did I play this? It had to be like 2010? 2009? I was a wee lad. I hear noises. Oh! Random ass wild necromorph appeared. Yeah, because of the sound, I would recommend lowering it to 30 FPS. If this is your first time playing the game, and that's gonna bother you. And again, very easy to do. Just minimize it. It seems like it's only affecting the sound effects. So you just minimize it here. Right click, go to change configuration for this game. Scroll all the way to the next to last thing, and reset it back to 60. Apply. And if you're lucky, it won't crash the game. You don't have to open it over again. If you're unlucky, you'll have to do the whole thing over again. So let's see if that fixes the sound, or is that just the emulation thing? No, so it's just the emulation thing for this for Dead Space. It didn't fix the sound. But as you see, it's back to 30 FPS. So that was a good experiment, because I assumed that it was because I increased the FPS. It actually has nothing to do with that. Just the emulation. So worth noting, not 100% playable if you have to deal with weird sound effects. But there's probably something you could change in the sound settings in the emulator. I'll mess around with it later and see if I can get that information for you guys for this game specifically. But this is not one of the first games I thought of when it came to emulating PS3. But then I thought to myself, I said, wow, you know what? This has exclusive characters. I mean, exclusive mode. You can only play on PS3. I wonder if that works. Sure enough, it works. What's that noise? What's that noise? What's that noise? Nope. Oh! Die? Oh shit, I'm still alive? Oh shit, I'm still alive. Yeah, if I find out how to fix the audio glitch, I'll add the info. Damn. Oh, disrespectful. Disrespectful. Yeah, I'll look it up and see if I can find that out for you guys. I mean, not look it up. I mean, I don't think anybody's emulating this game on PC when it could be ran on PC, but it's... Okay, let's go to Dragoon or Drakengard 3. Let's go to settings first so I can show you guys what I did. I did something strange here. So I was having issues with it running in 60 FPS, even though it has a setting to unlock the frame rate under game patches. Didn't seem to work for me. Don't know why. But I put it at 60 FPS here. And it actually made it worse than 30. So I think this game is just hard to run on this emulator or something. I don't know. But let's go to the part I'm talking about here. Oh yeah, I went a little nuts on this one. So if you look at this, in order for me to get a decent frame rate, I had to push the V lock on 240 hertz, and then I increased the clock speed to 130%. And sorry, I had to get closer to the mic to see that because my eyes are not that good, and I'm playing this from a distance because the camera is in front of the system. So I have to literally lean over just to read these little tiny words on this. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I did. Oh, I did disable anti-aliasing. I don't think that affects the performance. So let's put that back on. 16x or auto. Just put auto. And that's about it. It seems like the emulator or this device, whichever it is, struggles to play Drakengard 3 at a solid frame rate. So I can't get it to stay at 60. I can't get it to stay at 30. It's just bouncing up and down, left and right. And, you know, but it is playable if you're willing to do that for this game. Oh, the games. Well, I have a hacked PS3, and most of my games I got from my original disc that I ripped from my from a long time ago from my original discs, and then put it on my hacked PS3, and then I used those PKG files and installed them onto the emulator. But there's an app you can get called PSN Stuff, and it downloads games from PSN, I believe. They don't have everything, but it's a good start if you're going to start collecting PS3 games. It's a collection of PKG files. I mean, it's very slow to download, but you can download it. I would just look up on YouTube PSN Stuff, or like that, all in one word. Stuff. And it's basically like a downloading app where you can get like some of the games that you're missing and install them. I don't, endorse it or whatever, but just give you an idea where to start. But yeah, you'll find tutorials on YouTube about it. That thing's been around for a long time, since Razor Edge Pro days. So you can get your PS3 games from pretty much anywhere on the internet. That's the only one I know for sure. As far as PSN games. As far as disc games, you're not going to get it from there. I can't really give you a recommendation for that. Alright, so let's see how this runs. I did load this before. Some shaders will load instantly. But show you guys the gameplay real quick, and we'll see how that goes. Now the only thing with this is
Zero.
What now?
Can I go find a bush? I need a pee.
the audio moves a little bit faster because I increased the frame rate. But it's not something you have to do. So just keep that in mind. If you leave the frame rate normally, it should play fine. But 30 FPS and lower just feels too weird. As you see, if you look here, they're running really fast. But that's when it's fast. It's not always fast. Sometimes it hiccups, gets a little slower. But I can play like this. But, if this is your first time playing, you don't want to do this. With the overclocking, basically, that's what you're doing. Overclocking the emulator. So what I would recommend is just keep everything the same setting as mine and just play it the default way and see if you like it that way. But if you want to play it like this, then that's how you do it. But as you can see, the frame rate is not totally solid. I mean, it's up and down. When it's solid, it's smooth, but when it starts going up and down, it's based on graphical things like smoke. If you notice, when I'm looking at the smoke, or I mean at the frames drop a little bit. That's what I mean about it not being a solid frame rate. But since you're overclocking, when the frames drop, if you look here, even though it keeps it the same frame rate, but it looks like frames skip when you're looking at the areas where the frames drop. So you see how it looks like it's skipping frames? It keeps it the same speed, but it skips frames. And then when you're in an area where the frames are not dropping, you won't have to worry about that. So even though you're, if you use my settings, even though you're losing some frames, it does frame skip on the areas where it slows down. So it doesn't actually slow down, which was a huge downside for me for this game, because I can't be playing a game and then it slows down. I'd rather it do the whole frame skip thing since we have that ability. But I just wanted to give you guys an example. Could be just this level because it has a lot of flames. But I remember this game on my PS3, and it wasn't a solid frame rate either. It was very bad. That's why I was thinking when I got the PS4, oh yeah, they're gonna re-release this game, it's gonna be remastered. Didn't never happen. So I was very pissed. It was a good game. I played the Japanese version. I bought it off the Japanese PlayStation Network.
They told me intoners were supposed to...
What kind of crap are they teaching you?
Get a medic! This crazy intoner's gonna kill...
Sure, why not? I haven't killed any medic.
I don't remember how to dodge and all that. Okay. There's a button for that. Okay.
I know that.
R1.
It's just... Where the hell are my sisters?
You're certain about this? About slaying all?
Of course. Why else would I be stabbing?
Calm down, buddy.
What's this?
It's not human, and yet not quite a...
I thought I dodged that, but okay. Oh, really thought I dodged that. But I get it. The game is telling lies. Cut it out. I'm trying to lock on. There we go. Form a stamina attack. Okay. What? Clearly I blocked. Don't lie to me. Yeah, so even when you overclock, the movie clips become really fast also, so that's something to note. Just these popping sounds too.
All of you, women, children, the elderly. It doesn't matter. If you stand in my... If that's what you want, then get me.
Alright, so you guys have seen gameplay. I'm about to move on to another game.
Don't let her through.
Just go through everybody.
Messengers are dead. Summon, they'll never arrive in time. Look at her. Look how fast she is.
But yeah, there's a lot of really cool PS3 exclusive games. That feels really good to be able to play on the go, portably.
Stand tall. Oh God, no.
But let's get to some other games. I've already been at this for a little bit. Oh, and let me type in the name of this game so you guys can know. This is Drakengard 3. All right. And let's try another game. All right. Now, I actually put this game on here as an experiment. Didn't expect it to run, but it did. This is Linger in the Shadows, which is a PSN exclusive. It's not really a game, it's more of an experience, I guess. I guess there's really no reason to show you guys it, except the only thing I did was put it at 120 hertz. And that's it. Because it's a 30 FPS game and it pushes it to 60 FPS when you do that. That's all. Ninja Gaiden 2. All right. Ninja Gaiden 2 is a game I've been wanting to play on the go for a very long time. And Razer Edge Pro just couldn't cut it. So I figured with all the updates and everything, could probably get it done on this device, since this device is playing every PS3 game I'm throwing at it. You can with some caveats. So let's go into the settings so I can show you guys my recommended settings for this. Now, everything's default the same way as I had it set up already before and I told you guys about. The only difference is I capped the frame rate at 60, right? And leave that off. I didn't do anything here as far as VSync and all that. I left all that blank. And what I did was I went to the overclocking thing and put it at 150 hertz and the clock speed at 170% instead of 100. Why did I do that? Because the game, for areas that there's not much going on, plays at a smooth 60 FPS, but it needs help because the other areas where there's too many enemies, it gets a bit laggy, like slow motion laggy. And even with these modifications, it really doesn't help it that much. So I wouldn't really say at this moment that Ninja Gaiden 2 is playable just yet on this device. I haven't checked the Xbox 360 emulator, but Sigma 2, I mean, I can play it on this device because I beat the game so many times. It's one of my favorite games of all time that I can deal with the slow motion. It actually is beneficial for combos. But it's just too often to call it playable. You guys will see what I mean. All right, now doing everything I did with my settings and just leaving it and not touching the overclock will fix the movie clips for you, because as of right now, wait, do I have game load? Yeah, I got a game saved. I can skip all the movie clips. I think I'll do that. Yeah, so what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so the movie clips break with increasing the frame rate and the clock speed and all that. It breaks the movie clips. I mean, it doesn't break them, they just run really fast. I mean, if you have a game that has a long unskippable movie clip, you could enable that and it'll get you around that part of it. As you can see here, playing pretty smooth, right? 60 FPS. That's because nothing's going on. As soon as an enemy shows up or you get to an area where it's open space. Look, I'm gonna go back here. Even with all my overclocking, this area, see, it slows down. Only when you look in this direction. It does this. It gets this slow. And because of that, I wouldn't say this is playable. It's playable for me because it's a small thing. All I have to do is turn the camera this way and then continue to fight. It's a small thing. But if it's a person that's never played it before, I can't recommend, you know, the game running like this. Oh, is this a box I never opened? What the hell? Why would I not? Oh, okay, it is open. I just can't see that well from a distance. But anyway, most of the game runs like this. I mean, the regular speed. But for some reason in this level so far, and it looked like it just crashed for the first time. It probably has to do with all the overclocking. Oh, sorry for that. Weird error. Can't see that. Let me turn on my light. So this is the first time this game has ever crashed, so totally new for me. Let's see what it says here. Thread terminated due to fatal error. Unknown surface target. Looks like an error. Looks like a catch data type of error because it links to a particular folder. That's weird. Anyway, let me run it again and see if I can emulate the error. Wow, the error crashed out the PS3 emulator. That sucks. Yeah, the only game that ever gave me a game-killing crashing error is Persona 5, and we'll get to that in a sec. Until just now with this game. All right, let me move this closer again. And hit the light. And instead of going backwards, we're going to go forward to see if we can get to some action scenes and see if it slows down while we're fighting. Yeah, the movie clips, even that rainy movie clip breaks because of the overclocking. And that's not the V thing, which is pushing the frame rate or the refresh rate. It's the second thing that I have at 100, I think it was 117%, something like that. Yeah, that just completely destroys movie clips. But I wanted to make an experiment and see if I can get it to run faster. And I don't know that I did. Part of me feels like it's the same speed as it was when I had it off, but it could be an improvement. Matter of fact, after this video, I already know the settings from this video. I can always look back. I'm probably going to put the settings back to default and see if it runs just as good for my save. Okay, you seen that weird graphical glitch? That has to do with the thing we talked about earlier in this video. So as you see, it does slow down while you're fighting. It doesn't do that during all fights. It has something to do with this area. It seems like it's environment specific, if that makes any sense. Or maybe it is character specific. Yeah, see, it slows down here and there's only one enemy. But when you get further down there, it doesn't slow down. So, it definitely, whatever the issue is, as you can see, slow motion, no enemies. Whatever the issue is, it's environmental. So, I don't know how you would fix that or figure out a way. Now, you see this, the shader? That's the same shader issue that was happening in the other games. And it just does it sometimes. If it does it once, that means it'll stay doing it. You can pretty much know right off the bat as soon as you load it up. So it's not over. It's going to do that again. at some point. But this is what I mean by it not being playable. But I just wanted to show you guys that it does play. And it depends on how patient you are. I'm a huge Ninja Gaiden fan, so I'm patient enough to still enjoy it and play it just like this. But that weird graphical shadow shader crap is fixable by rebooting it and putting on those settings that I told you guys about, which is strict rendering mode. It seems to do it less when I put that on, but that doesn't seem to fix it. It just seems to do it randomly. But whenever I see that, I put VSync on. I never seen it in this game until that crashed just now. So I put VSync on and strict rendering mode. And that usually solves the problem after a couple of more boots for some reason. But that's enough of Ninja Gaiden 2. Just add that to the list. Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. Xbox version is the one I really want to get to run. But I haven't been keeping up with the Xbox emulator. The Xbox 360 emulator. If it does play Ninja Gaiden 2, one of my favorite games of all time, I will surely look into it. But as far as I know, at this moment, it doesn't. Alright, let's try Odin Sphere. Odin Sphere, I didn't do nothing with. I think I just left it at default. Whatever my default is, the one I showed you guys, the global settings. The game runs natively in 60 FPS. Haven't had any problems. But I'm going to run it anyway. It's a really not a graphic intensive game. And it's not a Sony exclusive game. I mean, it's on other systems too, so it's not really all that impressive in terms of, you know, why do we have to have it on the PS3 emulator? We don't. It's on the Wii also. Oh, my battery's getting low. So I'm gonna have to plug this in. Take a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to plug in the device. The battery was dying. All right. Let's get to gameplay. This will be relatively quick. I did install it. I don't know if that's gonna have anything to do with it. I'm just letting you know. I never clicked on the classic, so let's see what that looks like. I guess that's the PS2 version. Yep. That's how the PS2 version is. Refined mode? Okay. If I remember, the PS2 version lets you start off with the dude. I think that's the only difference. To my knowledge. Or not. One of them lets you start with the dude. I think it was the Vita version. If I remember correctly. I guess this one you just gotta use Valkyrie. I guess. Nothing wrong with Valkyrie, just you know, the dude has demon powers, you know. It's fun skipping enemies. I mean, killing enemies with demon powers. Not a huge fan of staff. But yeah, you won't have any problems running any side-scrolling game. Saying attack enemy. What enemy? There is no enemy. Why are they lying to me? Oh. I didn't know I was gonna go through a tutorial, but I guess that's how the classic thing was. There was a tutorial at the beginning. Well, really don't feel like going through this tutorial. Huh? I don't remember there being a stamina bar. That's something new. Why can't I skip this? Alright, well, let's move on. Let's say we did play this for a long time, but trust me, it'll run it. Alright, now Persona 5. One of the first PS3 games I got for this emulator. I was really excited, and I said, you know what? I can't wait to play Persona 5 on the go. And to my disappointment, it plays beautifully for like 30 seconds. And then it stops. And then it hangs, and then it crashes. I tried messing with every setting I could think of in a book, and it just doesn't work. I tried the disc game. I tried the PSN game. I tried messing with all kind of weird settings on the game itself. Nothing I can do gets it to work more than 30 seconds. I mean, I can't get past the beginning of the game. So if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. I'll show you guys what I mean, what it does. Oh, the only thing I have done and tried is I enabled the 60 FPS patch from the game fixes or game patches. And it really makes it run flawless when it does run. And it's not a glitch that just happens at the beginning, because I loaded a save file and it just does it. I don't know. It's a timer thing. After a certain time, it just freezes. No errors, no nothing. Hangs. And it will continue hanging while the music is playing. It'll continue hanging. Watch, we're going to increase it now. So yeah, it has nothing to do with the game itself. I know that much. And I don't think it's the emulator either, because I've been looking all over the internet. I don't really see people talk about the game crashing after 30 seconds of playing. Intro, everything plays good, smooth, 60 FPS, you know, with the patch. Beautiful. And as soon as I get the gameplay, you know, whether it's a new game or a game I loaded, it'll just freeze. Let me load my game so I can give you guys an example. This is a game I started with RPCS3 on my Razer Edge Pro. So you see it's running good, 60 FPS, looking beautiful. Click on a few things, you know, and phone rings. Life is good being an anime character, right? Oh wait, it didn't do it this time. Ah, there it is. So there it is. There you have it, guys. Is Persona 5 playable? It would be, if not for this 37 game killing crash. But I'm literally out of ideas. The only reason why I'm keeping it on here because I'm hoping that after a few updates, it'll suddenly start working, and then I'll not update again. But the game has potential to run at 60 FPS and be good with the patch. At first I thought it was a CPU thing because it's at 100% CPU load when this game is running. But no, it's not that, because other games are also at 100% CPU load. Don't have that issue. And when you go here and you look at the bottom, no error. So why? Why does it do this? I don't know. If you guys have any ideas. Oh, and it doesn't just crash. It also crashes RPCS3 also. Anyway, so I've made this video long enough. Since it's doing its crashing thing. I'll do a next PS3 gameplay video tomorrow. With some remaining games that I have and some more games. You see that flickering is doing? If you look closely, you see like flickering. Weird, strange flickering in the corner of the screen on the right side. Let me open up something so you can see it more easily. I don't know if it's going to show up clearly on the video, but that's something it does when, for some reason to me, when it's charging. If I'm doing anything while it's charging. That's not anything, but like if I'm downloading from Steam, which was when I first discovered it. Oh, see, it's not doing it anymore. See, it was having Persona 5 running that was doing it. But anyway, Persona 5 eats 100% CPU load. So if I'm doing anything that eats 100% CPU load while I'm gaming, whether the fan is on or not, it'll start doing this weird kind of, you know, barely see it on the corner of the screen flickering. Some kind of image thing that goes in and out. No idea what that is. Only happens at 100% CPU load while plugged in and charging. But yep. So guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.